So what do you do when even this is too loud? When you live in an apartment with walls made of paper? We've talked about silent ways to practice drums in videos before, using tech like aero drums, for example. But the problem is, we're drummers, we like to hit stuff. So if you like to practice late at night, or you've got a neighbour with ears of a bar now, I've got 5 products for you that can help reduce the noise and keep you practicing without the anxiety of being asked to stop. Before we start though, none of this is sponsored, it's just stuff that works for me stacked up in the city on top of other people. People that just don't love drums as much as we do. To get the most effective practice we can get, we need to be mindful of 3 things. Number 1, not restricting our strokes. Sometimes the fear of playing too loud can force us to play differently. Obviously playing quietly in some ways is gonna help us improve our dynamic range, but if we're restricting our practice to only playing quiet, you can miss out on developing epic accents and proper technique. Number 2, making sure that our practice can flex to a drum set. Everyone can improve massively on a pad, but the ultimate goal for drum set players is to play on a drum set. So we've got to keep that in mind when we're learning. This can be as simple as hitting the edges of the pad and having the understanding that drums and cymbals just feel different. And finally, number 3, improving our technique with the sticks. Without using sticks, we're missing out on so much improvement of technique. We can learn grooves and even full songs with tapping our hands, but stick control is such a huge part of drumming that we can't ignore it for too long. And that's where these come in. Believe it or not, we're not about to bake a cake. This is actually a product called Silent Sticks by Adoro. My first point about these is that they're just not silent. Whoever came up with the name needs a good talking to. If you have an acoustic kit, it's not going to make it super quiet, but it does reduce the noise by up to 80%, which is pretty damn good. They're definitely lighter than the wooden sticks, so they take a bit of time to get used to, but it's so quiet that I think we're onto a winner here. This here is the quietest pad that I've tried. It's the Meinl Knee Pad. It's originally made for its reduced rebound using foam instead of rubber, but it turns out it's a hell of a lot quieter too. Now I wouldn't suggest that you use this all the time. It's great for building muscle and training your hands, but you could potentially miss out on getting epic rebound strokes that you get with the rubber pads. It's more challenging to play fast on this, and you get tired quick, but it's actually great for hitting hard and not making much noise. Let's compare the noise levels with a standard pad. Another pad that's super quiet is the Zildian Reflexx. It's double-sided as well, so you've got more rebound when you turn it over. An ideal scenario for using a pad like this is if you're away traveling, maybe you're at a hotel or something and you can't be banging around. The foam pads are a great way to keep the noise down, and you'll accidentally be training your muscles in your wrists, forearms and fingers at the same time. For anybody living in an apartment, you know that most of the annoying noise comes in the form of deep, low vibrations through the floor or the ceiling. And these lovely deep, low vibrations are usually what we want as a drummer, but not when Karen is living underneath us. So that's where these little rubber pads from Tama come in that you can place underneath your snare stand, and it takes away those vibrations. I've never had any complaints using a snare stand with a practice pad from the neighbours underneath, but on a hard floor like this, you can see the vibrations through the water here are reduced by using these rubber pads under each leg. You probably won't hear any difference yourself, but taking these vibrations away, you're much less likely to get complaints from your neighbours. And that brings me on to this second piece of rubber, the Roland Noise Eater. This beast I've been using ever since I've lived in an apartment. Not only does it stop the spikes from ruining your floor or carpet, it reduces the vibrations of the kick pedal by up to 75% apparently. And I'll take that any day over getting pissed off neighbours. Unfortunately though, you have to take out a mortgage for this thing. It's around $175. I've seen people build their own using a plank of wood and some tennis balls. Or if you want a cheaper option, there is a Tama alternative, which looks pretty similar in its build. Playing on our knees is actually pretty underrated. I mean, they can't take too much of a battering, otherwise you'll get bruises, but if you want to practice right now, then there's no cheaper and more convenient way. And what I like to do is add a folded hand towel to the mix. Then you've got a surface you can work with, great for learning songs or new patterns. But again, there's a lack of rebound that we have, but what does work well is dampening the practice pad. This seems to work well as it reduces the noise and still gives kind of a decent rebound. But I do feel like we're starting to run out of ideas here. Stick with me, I've got one more thing that will help bring the fun back into our quiet drumming. The Drumeo Quietkick. I'm a huge fan of the Quietkick. I've been using it for over 2 years now, and it's allowed me to learn foot techniques like the slide and heel toe without leaving my bedroom. When combined with the noise eater, it can actually allow you to play without frustrating the people around you as well. But that being said, it really does depend on how loud you play. If you're slamming the beater into the Quietkick, it's still pretty loud, so you'll have to be conscious when using it. So far though, I feel like I've developed better feel for the pedal by playing reasonably quiet, and including a pedal in your practice routine is going to step up your progress hugely. Now I know that all your situations are different. Some apartments are literally made of cardboard, and so even the smallest bit of noise is too much. So if that's haunting you, you might want to look into the alternatives like aero drums, or changing your location or environment. And I'll make a video about that soon. But in the meantime, let me know in the comments if you have any other ways of practicing quietly. I'm down to hear any solutions, however crazy or outside the box. Thanks for watching, keep hitting stuff, even if it's quietly, and I'll see you in the next video.